This week on football, Keane goes in on Haaland.
Again.
Haaland just had been brought up, not too happy, behaving like a spoiled brat, but because they win the game, he scores goals, it's almost forgotten about.
Birmingham City owner spotted with a wig-wearing doppelganger.
But meanwhile, down the pitch,
West Brom's boiler man down.
David Moyes misses Declan Rice.
Been a few of these big away defeats this season, which didn't really happen in previous years. Why do you think it's happened this season?
Declan Rice.
Like father, like daughter with the Vardys.
Olivia, tell him rock, paper, scissors.
And Brentford goalkeeper accused of time wasting.
Speaking wisdom into my mind. Tell me stories of all that are great. Cherish these days before it's too late. If you could turn around yourself.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Goalposts for Jumpers. It is me, your host, Alex. I am here with Vince. Welcome, Vince.
Welcome, thank you very much.
Second episode. Excited?
Really excited.
Okay, coming up in this week's show, we are going to be doing a Two Lies and a Truth. We have got a fan-captured goal of the week, and we're going to be doing our weekend treble. More importantly, and most excitingly, we are doing our top 10 ever Premier League goals. We've gone different lists. I've got something completely different to you. I'm absolutely sure of it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's different metrics that I've judged this on. So we haven't had this conversation yet. But I have said to myself before starting this, I'm going to measure each Premier League goal based off the context. So the complete context of the situation. If the goal is to win a title, I'm using that to push it up the ladder. If it's unbelievable technique, it's up there. But if it's a team goal, it's right up there as well.
Okay, I've done the opposite.
Okay.
I've done what I think is a banging goal. So
Okay. What? So just like just a plain old strike.
I think so. You know, one that gets you off your seat, not one that go, oh, that was a really good goal. The one that you go, oh, what a goal. Those are the ones that I've gone for.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Right. My top 10 Premier League goals of all time. Number 10 is Ronaldo against Portsmouth. What do you think?
I knew it was going to be in there.
It's got to be in there. Is it the best free kick that we've ever seen in the Premier League?
I think it was a reaction from David James. Even he clapped, didn't he? If you remember, he was like, what can I do against that?
He was just
It
like,
was
what can I do?
phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely. And
beautiful.
the discussion that I've had with a couple of people about that goal was because this has caused a little bit of a stir between us and a few people, isn't it?
I think so,
Like
yeah.
trying to come up with our list. But I think the reaction to that goal, you're right, but he was one of the first people to start using that knuckleball technique.
The up and down, wasn't it?
The up and down. And to say that he perfected it in that moment, I mean, it is just absolute perfection. Top bin, dips perfectly over the wall, and I love his celebration as well.
Unbelievable. It's
Just like, oh, mate,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
If you watch the angle as well when it comes down, it goes right into the top corner as well when it finishes. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely no right to hit it that well, that powerful. And Ronaldo, yeah, I think that goal against Portsmouth is, for me, the best free kick of the Premier League era.
So that's your number one.
That's my number 10.
That's your number 10.
See, yeah. Number 9 is Lamela against Arsenal. North London derby. The outrage to be pulling something like that out at that scale of a game and to pull it off as well.
Through the legs. The legs
not
first,
meg.
and it just caresses into the corner.
Oh.
Unbelievable goal.
And do you know what? I also used another metric that how many other players would score that goal. Not whether they could, but whether they would. To be that audacious. And Lamela's
was it his first game?
Lamela?
Yeah.
No, he's been there for a while.
He's been there a while.
Yeah.
It might have been his first goal.
It was one of his last goals, probably.
Was it last?
Yeah.
That's what it was. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
unbelievable, outrageous. To even
Yeah.
try that. 1-1. What was the score at that point?
I think that goal was to equalise.
Yeah, because I think Arsenal went on to win 2-1, didn't they?
I thought.
No, I think Arsenal won that 2-1.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. North London derby, obviously Tottenham's biggest game of the season, and to pull something like that out is just mad. Unfortunately, it wasn't in front of fans.
No,
It was during the lockdowns.
Because
Yeah.
what's the name at the bar? Smith Rowe smashed the bar, and then they went at the other end of the pitch, and then they did the
really?
Rabona to score.
You've got a
to
weird
equalise.
memory of this
yeah.
game. Wow. And number 8 is Aguero against QPR. Aguero moment. Look, the goal is not the best goal that you're ever going to see, but in terms of context, it is the greatest goal probably in Premier League history, isn't it?
So, isn't it? Yeah.
I couldn't put it as the number one because I just think the goal's good enough, but from just pure context, Man City's first league title.
The noise,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
The celebrations, Joe Hart running around, and as 2 United fans here, look,
Awful.
I was at the Sunderland game, so when we thought we'd won it, Rooney scored, it was 1-0, everyone thought we'd won it. United fans, we were all getting up, and then I always remember behind me, I heard someone go, mate, it's horrible. Obviously, people on their phones, on the radios, and Aguero scored. And I was like, what? And he's like, Aguero scored. And I was like, oh my God. And that's when you see Fergie and all the players like turning around.
Realising.
And then the Sunderland fans, oh my God, they were giving it us.
That's ridiculous.
Singing
isn't
City songs and stuff like that.
it? Small club. Newcastle always a bigger club anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Number 7, Papis Cisse against Chelsea.
That was a gem. Did he mean to do it?
Yes,
Do you think?
I think so. I mean,
Against the best goalkeeper.
we were looking at this goal, a few of us earlier, and watching it. And the maddest thing about this goal is that it beats Petr Cech, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League history, but it beats it in front of him. You think when you replay that goal,
goes over, doesn't
you think it goes over? No, it goes in front of him.
Does it?
beats him
over?
It beats him there. It's
so
oh
fast,
mate,
wasn't it?
he's not stopping it. You
Unbelievable.
can't stop it. But it's just one of the maddest goals I've seen. And how many other players have scored a goal similar? I can't think of a single player that scored a similar goal to that.
There is one. We'll get to that later.
Okay. Number 6, Dennis Bergkamp against Newcastle. That touch is absolutely outrageous. How dare he do that in that moment in a Premier League game on the biggest stage? How dare he?
There is
pull
no
that out?
goal like that. Now, this is where
Ricardo Fuller scored a goal similar, but the touch, but the touch was the outside of his foot, whereas this goal with Bergkamp is the instep, and it's
the
so
outside of his body,
mate, it's
isn't
so
it?
counterintuitive.
Unbelievable.
How can he pull that off and then go through and score? Only Dennis
unbelievable
Bergkamp.
goal. Yeah, that was a phenomenal goal. Tough to place that, isn't it? Because ideally that could be a number 1 quite easily. It's a massive goal. Everyone knows it. When you think of the world best goals, that's always on the
gotta be up there.
reels. But it doesn't make you go,
No,
where it is phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't quite get you out your seat.
it's a more just like, what have I just seen goal, like the
unbelievable.
Papis Cisse goal. Number 5, Garnacho versus Everton.
Nothing needs to be said about that.
There is no Wayne Rooney in this list against Man City, and the context was taken into account, but I just think I couldn't have 2 bicycle kicks when I know that Garnacho's is better.
It is, but if you're going to go off that one is the derby. So
Yeah.
if you're going to go off the Aguero goal, I think the Rooney one should be enough. Garnacho's is better. It's cleaner contact. It's further out towards the edge of the box. I think it is a better over a kick, but if you're going to go off context, I think Rooney's is a bigger goal.
It was tough. It was a tough one. I only wanted to include one in there of the 2, but Garnacho's running away from goal at 19 years old, away at Goodison. The noise, I don't know if you remember it, the Goodison crowd was so up for that game, and it silenced them.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Well, won us the game. Because they would have beaten us.
Yeah.
No problem.
Easily, but the way that... Like,
I think they clapped almost. I think they were like...
oh, how could you not?
Yeah.
Like when Ronaldo scored against Juventus, that overhead kick, and then just the Juventus crowd got up and just went and applauded him.
Fan bases, when they do that, are just...
When you see something... Well, do you remember when Van Persie scored against
us?
Yeah, and we all got up in the Stretford and clapping.
Yeah,
him.
buzzing. Yeah, it was class, that.
Number 4, speaking of Robin Van Persie, number 4 is Robin Van Persie against Aston Villa. As far as title-winning goals go, right up there.
Yeah.
Robin Van Persie signed for that season to win Sir Alex's final ever title. And he won it. And
over the shoulder.
The assist is almost better than the goal.
Yeah, who was it got the assist?
Rooney
won it from the bottom right-hand corner, pings it across to the left,
on
comes
a
over the shoulder.
sixpence.
Yeah, bang.
And then the finish, and then the celebration. And obviously, we went on to win that game 3-0, but it was a Van Persie hat-trick. And it
was
just,
phenomenal.
that game and that goal epitomised Man United that season, because Fergie signed Van Persie and told every single United player, you pass to him or you're not playing.
He did say that, yeah.
And I just,
He was phenomenal. I wish we got him 2 years earlier.
Van Persie, he's magic. And that goal, I think that goal really sums him up as well.
Yeah.
Technique, left foot, on the volley, audacious. And he scored a couple of those similar goals on the left foot volley first time.
Yeah, I've got one in mind that you're
Really?
going at this, yeah.
Okay, number 3, Jack Wilshere against Norwich. Now, I've put this in because it is the greatest team goal I've ever seen in my life. The couple of flicks. And
it was unbelievable. I've watched that 4 times today and I still don't understand it. I don't get it.
most underrated thing about that is the finish. It's Jack Wilshere's weaker foot.
And he just...
First time into the bottom corner, instinctive.
Yeah, didn't think about it.
It just summed up the perfect goal. And just a little flick with Giroud, I think, the 1-2.
It was. I don't know if it's Giroud's. I don't think he's meant to do it, Giroud's. I think the other players do. I think Giroud was a bit of a stab at it, and it's gone where it's wanted to. But if you watch the rest of them, they're playing the ball there. If you watch Giroud's foot, he plants it, and it comes off his foot.
It also starts with Wilshere deep.
And
the little dribble.
Yeah.
And that just,
phenomenal
again,
goal.
Jack Wilshere, what a shame that he didn't go on to...
Might be my favourite all-time goal.
It's right. I mean, I've gone 3 there for the Premier League, but I think other goals beat it.
Yeah, but I think when you've got a personal favourite, because it's a footballing goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't see football like that in the Premier League.
Well, there's not another goal like that on this list. Number 2, I've gone Patrick Berger against Charlton.
Yes,
this Patrick Berger goal is maybe the best, most outrageous goal I've ever seen in my life.
So I had a problem with this one because this is beautiful, but when you compare it to the Henry one, this is just miles above. Because he kicks it out to the right, turns on it, and smashes it. I couldn't believe it.
Which goalkeeper does he beat? Premier League legend Dean Kiley.
Dean Kiley, bold-headed Dean Kiley. Yeah, I do remember him.
Beats it over the top to the complete opposite end of the
He was
goal.
bewildered, wasn't he?
How can you, as a goalkeeper, imagine being a goalkeeper in the Premier League with the quality that is in the Premier League and just watching someone do that and beat you? Just give up.
Unbelievable.
What's the point?
And he meant to do it. That's the worst part.
He's done every single bit of it. He meant to do it.
Unbelievable goal.
Fantastic. Number 1, right? My number 1 best all-time Premier League goal is Andros Townsend against Manchester City. I'm going to give you some context to this. Not only is it an unbelievable strike, it's against, I believe, the Centurions of Man City at that point. They beat Crystal Palace, beat Man City at the Etihad
3-2.
I think that was the winning goal, the equalising goal.
I thought
it was 2-1.
Definitely a win. Yeah,
the context to that is that they beat Man City, which is a feat in all in its own. But to score like that, and there's a lot of volleys that have been scored in the Premier League that are phenomenal, and you go, wow, what a volley. This one, just arrows. The trajectory is so different to every other volley.
It
Townsend
just stays,
takes
doesn't it?
It just stays.
Yeah, it doesn't go up or
The
across,
power,
it just stays, doesn't it?
The power in it and the distance, again, I don't think I've ever seen a goal beat that since. It's one of those goals where I think how many players would attempt it, complete it, finish it. And Andros Townsend is one of those players that, say whatever you want about him, technical ability is brilliant. Great dribbler.
He's always been a good player, isn't he?
That left foot's a wand as well. But to score that goal at the Etihad to beat Man City,
unbelievable.
Magic. I don't think there's a better one. That's my top 10 Premier League goals of all time. Vince, over to you.
Okay, so you want me to start at 10?
Go for it.
So 10, I have gone for the Wilshere goal against Norwich. And I went with that because it's my personal favourite. That's why I got it in there. There are goals that are a little bit better, but I just think that's a phenomenal... you watch it and you just... I don't care who you are or who you support. You just sit there and go, wow.
Didn't it epitomise Arsenal as well?
Under Wenger. We know City dominate teams now, but I don't think there's any team in the Premier League that passed as well.
No. I actually think that's continued as well under Arteta. I think it's a philosophy that Arsenal have as a football club to play good-looking football. Yeah.
Because everyone liked Arsenal, didn't they? They went for that period where no one hated them, but their fans are tough.
Yeah.
A little bit tough.
Yeah.
But their football, you just enjoyed watching them.
I loved watching Arsenal.
Yeah, I did.
And some of the players, Samir Nasri, Thierry Henry, Jack Wilshere, Santi Cazorla, the Arsenal players over the years have just been it's really hard as a Man United fan to go, I love watching them play, but I did.
It is, but in that era, they weren't anything. Our era, when you had the Vieiras, obviously, we couldn't stand them. But that era where they weren't really doing anything, you just enjoyed watching them.
Overmars.
Lundberg.
They're
just horrible little
then
players.
Vieira, Keown, Sol Campbell.
Keown. Do you remember him smacking Van Nistelrooy on the back of the head? When he missed that penalty?
I've never hated anyone as much as I've hated Martin Keown during that period of time. So you're number 2?
Okay.
Number 9.
Number 9. This is a banger. SEN against Arsenal. How did you leave that out? Because that goal, you sit there and it's just caresses in that bottom corner. Unbelievable.
I think there's about 20 to 30 better goals in the Premier League history.
The only one I think you can compare to where the ball moves like that is that Rooney one against Newcastle. Other than that, I don't think anything where the ball moves from the outside of the post and comes back in. I don't think there's anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful goal. Now, this is going to be a debatable one. So, for my number 8, I have gone Van Persie against Charlton. Now, the reason I've gone for Charlton instead of Villa, obviously, United fan, and I love that Villa goal, won us the league. But when Van Persie hit that goal in against Charlton, he was in midair. Both feet were off the ground, and he's leathered it into the top corner. It's an arrow. It's phenomenal.
Bicycle kick, almost, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I don't...
What do you call it?
Like a scissor kick, maybe?
Yeah, scissor kick.
I don't know if there's any other player on the
Not
planet that
bicycle
could get
kick.
that high and kick it that hard, other than probably Gareth Bale. I don't know if there's many other players that can do something like that.
It's something about left-footed players that just capable of some
Well, yeah,
things
you
that...
ain't hitting that on the right, you?
Right-footed
Just coming
players,
out your line,
yeah.
just jumps midair, bang, top bins, unbelievable. That's a stunner.
Yeah.
Now, here's my sticking point. After this, it's plain sailing. I'm going to go with Bergkamp against Newcastle here.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
We
think
agree on it.
It's just
No, nearly.
I think it's such an iconic goal. I don't think it's one to get off your seat, but it's such an iconic goal. I don't think there's many players in the world that could ever even attempt to do that. So I put it in there. I was struggling with Newcastle and Rooney, but I think because I went with the SCN goal, I think I'm going to leave the Rooney one out because that Rooney one was just unbelievable. But I think the SCN's a lot further out. It comes a lot more outside the post and comes back in. So I went with the SCN. So yeah, I'm going to go with Bergkamp Newcastle for 7.
Nice.
6,
5.
I've gone
7. Sorry.
7. Yeah. 6, I've gone Berger against Charlton. Same as you. I think you've got him.
I've got him. I mean, I went him second because I just couldn't. Rewatching it, I just can't believe
The audacity in it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Now, 5, I've gone Giroud against Palace. The scorpion kick.
I didn't put that in, and I want to put it back in. If I'm honest,
You haven't, yeah. It's
Mkhitaryan scored one similar, didn't he? Same season.
same season.
Yeah. What was that, 16, 17?
I remember him doing it, yeah. In the blue United kit.
That was in the... No, he
Europa
did
League,
score...
wasn't it?
He scored one like that in the Europa League, like like inside, instep, but he scored one like a flick over the top of his head as well.
Remember.
I think same season.
But yeah, I can't believe... When I seen yours, I was like, how's he not got that in there? Because that's... To even try that.
Yeah.
It's the same with
It's
the header.
audacious.
Was it Van Persie the header with Holland?
Yeah.
That fine, it's dinked it over.
I have rewatched the goal. Now, when you rewatch this goal, notice how slow Giroud is to get there. It's honestly so funny watching him. He's running. Have you ever seen
Just falls, doesn't he?
Have you seen runners? You know, when they get like they all the lactic acid builds up and they get to the finish line and they can't get over the line. He's running like that, and then he just about goes like that. It just looks so stupid, but I mean, yeah, wow, what a goal!
Unbelievable. Again, with this one, I struggle with this because there is 2 goals like this, but I went with Beckham's. Again, I think because of how iconic it is. I think at the time, if you were watching that live, it was nothing else like it was.
Beckham against Wimbledon.
Yeah,
Selhurst
Wimbledon.
Park,
Sorry, Wimbledon. Because you've also got, is it Figueroa against Stoke? Is it? Stoke?
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah, Stoke, when he scores on the free kick.
Is it Stoke or Sunderland?
Stoke, I think. And he scores a free kick where he takes it really quick and lobs the keeper.
Yeah.
Now, my argument with this, I didn't really want to put it in, but it's such an iconic goal. I think it changed like all those types of goals. Beckham was everywhere at that point.
It was the first time someone had scored that goal from the
far
halfway
out.
line. Yeah,
But I think my argument with this is if you're playing football and you're on the edge of the box or towards the halfway line and you have a shot at the crossbar, it's a lot easier to hit. To smash a volley in from that far out, like the Scholes one against Bradford where it doesn't bounce, I think that's way harder to score a goal like that than it is to...
Than Beckham.
Yeah, I think so.
But you've put Beckham in there because of the...
I think it's how iconic it is, and it does make you get off your seat. If you were watching that, you'd be like, oh my God, how does that happen?
It was what put Beckham on the map.
100%.
I mean, what a great player he was coming through, but I think he's like 20 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And to imagine a 20-year-old scoring from the halfway line. Obviously, we saw Rooney do it against
Rooney, West Ham, and then
We've seen Figueroa, and players obviously trying it since, and then Harry Kane scored one this season as well.
But can you imagine anyone doing that if Beckham didn't try it?
I think someone would have done it eventually. Like the Cruyff turn, eventually someone's going to do it. He just happened to be the first. But I think why I didn't put it in my list was because so many players have scored similar goals.
Yeah,
even in the Premier League.
I did struggle with that, and I've got like 4 or 5 that I didn't put in. That was the one I was really like, that and Bergkamp, because they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But 3, I've gone with the CCA against Chelsea. I think that's just unbelievable. Now, this one's going to shock you. I think I was really close to putting this to number 1. So, is it Kasimi?
Pajdim Kasimi.
I don't think there's a better goal than that. Takes it down on his chest, smashes it across the box. I don't think there's... If you ever tried to bring a ball down your chest, you have to focus anyway to try and bring it down. And then to lace it in the top corner as well, I think that is...
Do you know what I think the most impressive thing about that goal is? The pace at which he's having to run
and to bring it down. He bangs it off his chest. It's
and
running
then
quick.
Still in like the same movement to volley it. Oh my.
Why didn't that get in yours? I'm a bit annoyed, actually.
Do you know what? It's because it didn't have... And it probably sounds like a shitty argument. But it's because it didn't have enough context to it. It wasn't... It's like Fulham were like doing anything that season.
I get that.
But you look at... I mean, Patrick Berger obviously is one of those as well. Probably, they weren't... It wasn't like... Was it Portsmouth at the time? It wasn't like they were doing anything.
Yeah, he went to Liverpool, didn't he, afterwards?
Yeah, it was for Portsmouth. He scored that against
Yeah, it
Chelsea.
wasn't Liverpool, yeah, for sure. And then number 1, I have gone Garnacho over a kick against Everton.
Wow.
But it was close between the top 2 because I just think to score an overhead kick like that, that far outside the box, the control, he's hit it in the top corner. If you watch the Rooney one, Joe Hart doesn't move. If you watch the Everton one, Pickford throws himself across and he still can't get it.
And he's not getting there.
And it's right anywhere else, he probably would have been saved or hit the post. That's gone the only place he could have scored. Yeah. I just think for me, that is probably the best goal.
Yeah, I like it. Good lists. Right.
Tough though.
That is tough. Some honourable mentions. Have you got any that you didn't mention that you thought, do you know what a goal that was?
I've got a couple. Now, I've gone with this one because of the nostalgia aspect. Everyone's going to go, oh, they're all quite new. Yeboah against Liverpool for Leeds.
He scored 2 that season, I think, the same season.
It was.
2 outrageous strikes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I think he could have got on there. I think he's got a good shout at getting on there as well.
And the other one I really, really, really wanted to put in, because if Baker sees this video and we don't say anything about Bale, we're going to be strong.
Oh, the goal against Stoke?
Against Stoke. Now, you've got the West Ham, which is a phenomenal strike. If you haven't seen it, he bags it, he gets annoyed, gets fouled, gets back up, boots at top bins. Yeah.
Last minute. And that was the season Bale was just winning games by himself. Yeah.
But the one against Stoke, he gets his leg so high, and to be able to hit the ball so powerfully to get it in the top corner, that for me, I really struggled.
Baker would have been. Baker will be fuming that that's not in there.
I think didn't put it in there because I want Baker to be fuming. I think.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Anything else?
I had the same as you. Lamella against Arsenal, Scholes against Bradford. I just think to hit that without it bouncing is just.
Scholes against Villa was better than Bradford.
I did as well, but when we were looking back through it today, the Bradford's the one that seems to get more plaudits for some reason.
Scholes says himself that's the best goal he's ever scored against Villa.
That's probably why. Ben Arthur goal against, when he's on Newcastle, he runs from his own box and gets all the other end and taps it in.
Payet free kick.
I don't know, we didn't think about it, did we?
It's just a mad free kick. I don't think we'll ever see a free kick quite like that Payet free kick.
He was a special player.
It doesn't look like it's at any point going in until right when it goes in.
I know what you
mean. It's like it's so high and it's so close to the goal. I don't even understand physics. I don't understand physics in that moment. How does he score?
This is the best sport on the planet, isn't it?
Yeah, and some of these goals just remind you it.
Can you imagine what we'd have done if we'd have come together?
What?
Because I'd have had that Aguero one straight out of there. Unless we'd have gone with, like, we're doing it for an occasion. I'd have had the Rooney over a kick.
What's the greatest goal that's ever been scored in the Premier League?
You're going to say Aguero, aren't you? Because,
that's why I had to put it in there. Right, shall we do 2 lies and a truth?
Let's have a go.
Okay, part of the show where I give you 3 crazy football stories. 2 are true. No, 1 is a lie and 2 is... Huh? How many? No, 2 are true. No, 2 are lies, 1 is true. Last time I did this with Baker, I said 2 are lies, 1 is true, and I messed it up. And he got so mad at me. He was like, you do this exact thing for 80 episodes and you still get it wrong. I got it wrong again. 2 are lies, 1 is true. It's so easy.
What was it? Haaland goes in on Kane.
Oh, mate, have a look at the blue. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, wait till the end. We're going to put the bloopers in. I'm shocking.
I am also 1 for 1 with 2 lies and a truth.
You got it right last time,
I did.
Oh, interesting.
So we go
okay.
Again.
So basically, this is our little trip into my crazy mind. You have to guess which one is the true story. There are some weird football stories, but I feel like I'm almost at the limit on how many I can find because it's been 80 episodes. And I've had to find 80 crazy football stories that are actually true. Right, first story. Story number 1. Real Madrid star Jude Bellingham has named his new puppy Carlo after the Madrid boss Carlo Ancelotti.
That's a bit insulting, isn't it?
Story number 2. Jose Mourinho turned down the Arsenal job in 2016 after mocking Gunnosaurus. That's the club mascot. The special one described the mascot as not serious for a club that wants to win the biggest prizes. That sounds like a Mourinho
Does
thing,
sound
right?
like a Jose thing, doesn't it?
Or
It's
have I
a
made
bit-
it up? Story number 3. Former Man City man Stephen Ireland once killed his own grandmother.
Once killed. Like
Once.
as if he's done it twice.
No, like in the past he's done. The Irishman used his very much alive grandmother's death to avoid playing for the national team so he could visit his girlfriend. 3 stories. 1 is true. 2 are lies. I'm going to tell you the answer, obviously, at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Any ideas? One of them is
They
true.
could all be true.
Yeah.
Imagine saying, oh, Nan's dad, I can't make it.
Nah, that's outrageous, and it can't be true. Or could it?
Could be true.
Could be true. Last week, we did a weekend treble, and every week we've been doing a weekend treble to see how far we get in terms of profit. I say put £10 on it, and then by the end of the season, we're going to see, are we in profit? Are we at a loss? Have my tips come through? It's quite low stakes, but it's quite low odds as well, so I don't want to do anything crazy. We were about £27 down up until this week, which is not good, but last week's came in.
There's a winner, wasn't it?
Last week's came in, which took us to about £3 in profit, which was a nice winner. So if you'd have put £10 on it last week, you'd have had £30 back. If you'd have put £1,000 on it, I've just given you £2,000 for free. I'm sick.
Free money.
This week's weekend treble, I'll get your opinion on it, Vince. Selection number 1 is Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, both teams to score. Selection number 2, Real Madrid over 1.5 goals away at Granada. And then selection number 3, Celtic versus Rangers, both teams to score. £10 on, £31.42 back. That takes us to a nice, healthy £33, £34 profit for the season with 2 weeks to go. That's not bad. Considering we're just trying to make profit for the season, that's not bad. What do you think of those selections? Old Firm Derby, let's start off with that. Both teams to
I love
score.
those games. They're the
It's 3 all the last
greatest
game.
games. They're phenomenal. I love watching them. Yeah, both teams to score. It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? I think
You'd have thought so. 6 goals in the last game.
you're gonna have no odds for cards in that, are you?
Yeah, get rid of cards, yeah. Madrid away at Granada. Obviously, they've already won the league.
That's the only one that would make me slip. But you got young lads there. They've got some very good young players.
Brahim
They're gonna
Diaz
want to
having a
prove
great
point.
season,
he's
trying to
a
get
good
himself in the
player,
team.
Yeah, so I think that makes sense.
Yeah, and then the first selection was Forest Chelsea. Look, 2 teams that can't defend, but Chelsea are on
fire.
I think the thing with the Forest game is that you're watching 2 teams that are both going to go for it because there's nothing to lose.
I just think Chelsea. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think they're just a better team with Thiago Silva in there. I don't understand.
They are, yeah.
He's
I mean,
just-
look, he's not going to be able to play 40 games a season, 50 games a season if they're in every competition, but manages games at 39. He has no intention of retiring at the end of the season either.
No, he's going off, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Well, he said he's gonna reveal what his decision is at the end of the
His
season.
missus was giving it big on Twitter again. Was
Really?
she? Yeah, saying stuff like loads of laughing faces and stuff. I think because he was on the bench, they didn't start him, so she tweeted. She did it last time, didn't she?
Yeah,
She's done it
I
twice
just
now.
don't you feel that just if that's your missus, shut up.
Yeah, 100%.
This
Because
is
he
my
loves Chelsea
career.
as well. He was crying. Saying,
Imagine
"I
your
wanna come
missus,
back."
right? You'll go into work and your missus turns up and goes, "Why is Vince not been promoted yet?"
Yeah. Oh my god.
Go home. Imagine how
You
pissed
wait
off
till you
you'd
get
be.
home,
You
I'd be
wait
like,
till
yeah.
you get home. I'm not. You wouldn't have that, and I think footballer like it's no different.
Some of the agents.
Yeah, agents as well. I
That
saw
young lad for Barcelona.
who's been which lad?
I can't remember his name. Young lad. He's not been playing, but his agent came out today saying that Xavi's not giving him time and it's ridiculous.
Oh,
Why would
shut
you
your
do-
mouth.
No club is then going to go. Do you know what? Sign that player.
Oh, he looks good. Yeah, I think he's a
No.
good egg. He's got
Shut
good
up.
people around
No
him.
way.
Yeah, no, I
Stupid.
completely agree. And this is especially a young lad. Look, Thiago Silva should probably. He's 39.
I think we all know she's
Yeah,
probably
is
the
he?
bot. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Chelsea, Forest, I think that could be any score, so that's why I've put it in there. I think it's all right. But this season's one of those. I started kind of halfway through the season. Next season, I'm going to go really hard at it and try and make sure that everyone who backs, and I'm going to back it myself next season. I'm just going to put £10 on it every week.
It's
And
fun, isn't it?
We're up.
That's what you need.
We're up at the moment. You know,
That's
we
what
haven't
you need.
lost any money, so it's good. And obviously, it's always hindsight. People come running and go, "Oh, why haven't you told me about that?" Watch the fucking podcast, and then it's there for you. Free money. Right, okay, let's talk about the week coming up. We've got the Champions League semi-finals. Where do we stand on that? We've got Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and we've got Dortmund versus PSG. Are Dortmund going to hold on?
No.
Really?
No, I thought PSG would... I know it's at Dortmund. I think we both were quite confident on PSG scoring goals. And the amount of chances they missed in that game, I think PSG will run away with it. I think there'll be a few goals. Yeah, I think Dortmund played really well that first game. I don't think they're going to turn up and do that at the Parc des Princes. No way.
What do you think about Jadon Sancho? You having him back at United after that performance?
No, I think some players are just made for certain leagues, and I think as much as I love Sancho, he's got great feet. He's got no pace, and I do think if you haven't got pace in the Premier League as a winger, I think if you look through all the past, the quick wingers are just a lot better.
Do you know who was different? Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah, but he played in a team that dominated possession. We can't get we can't get the ball.
No, that's true.
We can't get the ball. So no,
I think Sancho could play at Man City.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But then again, why did City get rid of him? Was it because of his attitude, not turning up for training? You don't want that type of bad egg in your team, do you?
Do you know what I think it was? I think it was a time, and this is pure speculation, but I think it was at a time that Brahim Diaz and Jadon Sancho were coming through, similar sort of time, and Phil Foden, I think. Yeah. Phil Foden, Brahim Diaz.
I know Phil was definitely playing. Kick him off, didn't he? And he was sulking. Sancho
and I just think sometimes you've got to take, and I think Jadon Sancho, fair play to him, he's gone, look, I want to push for first team football.
Get that.
And I actually rate that. I don't think it's a negative. City might have let him go, but City also let Cole Palmer go this season.
I just don't think we play the football for him. I think, like you said, City would be fine. I think a slower league with a bit of a slower tempo. Name one time when he the way he was running past players against PSG, he did that for us. Where he ran through a couple of players. His end product was always poor. I just think it's a tough league for him, and I don't care what anyone says. Playing for United is the hardest thing in the world. Yeah, you have so much pressure on you. The fans are everywhere. It's tough. So at the same time, it's a tough place to play.
Would you, if you're Michael Elise, looking at that Man United potentially offer on the table for the summer, are you not coming then? If you're Michael Elise, this is dream to play for Man United. It seems
it's a step up from Palace for sure. We might get European football, but I think if you look at our history for the last 6-7 years, every young player that's gone there has failed.
Yeah,
struggled. Mainu's probably the only one. Look at Garnacho; it's a prime example. Tough season for him. Started out the blocks, and now he's really struggling. He's finishing his.
It's end product, isn't it?
So I just think if you're a young player, I would be going anywhere but United.
I would go to United, but I would wait for them to get a coach who can coach.
I'm really worried that he's going to go to Munich, and we're going to get Tuchel.
I am buzzing if he goes to Munich and we get Tuchel.
Why? He's awful.
No, because Erik ten Hag is the worst coach in the Premier League.
No, I'm not having that. I'm not having. No way. Not a chance.
Tell me. Okay.
Look at the first season.
Can you? Are you saying that you would keep Erik ten Hag in that for next season?
Right now, I know he winds me up with substitutions and stuff. But you go back to Go back to the first season. We played good football. Attacking football, we were good. We were all right. We've got to 3 finals. Okay, we've won one of them, lost one. We've got another final now, which we're probably going to lose, but it's not the point. I just think if he wanted Harry Kane, didn't get him. He wanted.
We all want Harry Kane. Didn't get him.
No, but these players.
We all want Frankie de Jong.
I think if he gets players that he actually wants, I think he might be all right. I don't know. I'm 50-50 with it because I watched United get smashed tonight against Palace and I'm going to lose my head. So and I want him out. So I don't know with him. I'm struggling.
He wanted Frankie de Jong, didn't get him. Fair enough. He wanted Harry Kane, didn't get him. Fair enough. I'm pretty sure Mikel Arteta sat there this season going, it'd be nice to have a fucking striker. But he doesn't get him. He gets Kai Havertz.
But he has, again, look at the squad he's got. Look at the managers that have had it before him. They've all failed. Solskjaer's the only one that we've watched football and enjoyed it. Good attacking football. I think it's the players. As much as look, Rashford.
I think it's
Rashford's a prime example. You can't be that good and then that poor. You just cannot do that.
Mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get it gone. Start again.
But I'm one of those people. I'll be like, okay, well, let's have a look at the manager. What is he doing to look at every single player? Who's better under Ten Hag?
Manu.
I can tell you, every player is worse.
I'd have Fred back.
I'd rather die.
Who's Maguire? Maguire's better under him.
Maguire's better because of Maguire, not because of any manager. Because he's had that mentality to sit there and go, do you know what? I'm going to give everything for this club. Mentality-wise,
I think Scott's been better this season.
You don't like him?
I don't like him, but he's been better than what he has been. Goes forward, he scores goals.
Yeah.
Doesn't do
you think
enough
that's because of Ten
midfield
Hag?
for me. I think he goes forward because of Ten Hag. Yeah.
What about for Scotland then? Ten Hag take care of those games as well. Look,
I don't know.
I do not want to be one of those people who's like sack the manager. But this is
But he wants to
currently
sack the manager.
the worst manager that I've ever seen in my life at Manchester United Football Club.
Worse than Ralph?
Worse than Ralph. Worse than Moyes.
No way. We got
Look
to
at what
finals.
Ralph
Ralph's terrible. He was awful for us. I don't think we won a game under him. He was the worst football I've ever seen.
It was because he was coming in trying to put a system in place.
I agree,
With
but what do you think
midway
Ten Hag's
through a
trying to
season.
do?
He's had 2 years.
Yeah, with the same shit players every single week.
They're not
week
shit
in.
players.
They are.
Bruno Fernandes,
It's one player.
Marcus Rashford, 30 goals
Not having
last
Rashford,
season.
not having it.
Rasmus Højlund, £70 million striker.
He's a donkey.
Garnacho, one of the best young prospects in the world. Kobe Mainoo, one of the best young prospects in the world. Casemiro, multiple Champions League winner. Harry Maguire, £80 million. Rafa Varane, Champions League winner. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, £50 million. Diogo Dalot plays for Portugal week in, week
Diallo's
out.
come on leaps and bounds
Luke
under
Shaw,
Ten Hag.
best
Injured.
left back in the UK.
But we've lost half our defence for half the season. To be
Andre
fair, I'm not
Onana.
using that as an excuse. Yeah, that's a bad one. But again, he's been okay. He's made a lot of mistakes, but he's been okay.
He's been all right, but why? Man United are no further forward than we were 2
So
years
you
ago.
think getting rid of
In fact,
Ten
we're
Hag
back.
will make a difference to these players?
I don't think so, but I don't think we should use the fact that that we always sack managers, and that has been a negative, to keep a manager who's poor.
I agree, but at least give him a
All
chance.
these
So
excuses,
you wouldn't
man.
give him this one next transfer window in the summer, see who we can get in, give him 3 or 4 months, see how he performs. If he performs well, okay, I'm wrong.
I'd have sacked him 3 months ago.
I know you would have. Mm-hmm. And I would have, but I don't know. I
I
don't know who's out there. Who'd you go and get?
That is an issue.
Solskjaer's the only person I'd
That
probably
is an
be comfortable
issue.
with getting again.
But there's about 19 managers in the Premier League I'd take over Eric Ten Hag.
You'd have Sean Dyche, wouldn't you?
I'd have Sean Dyche. I'd have Iraola. I'd have Gary O'Neill. I would go back down to I'd take McKenna out of Ipswich, back at United. He knows the club.
It's a big job, mate. I don't think you can
Mate,
just do that.
bigger than right. Okay, do you think Eric Ten Hag would have taken Ipswich up League One and then Championship back-to-back seasons?
Do you think Pep would have? Do
Yeah,
you think Klopp would have?
yeah.
Do you think Sean Dyche would have?
I think he'd have a good show. I tell you,
Tracksuit Sean Dyche.
I'm telling you now. Yeah, I'm telling you now. Eric Ten Hag, as well as he's done at Ajax, the bottle that his teams show is absolute zero. There's a consistent theme to his teams that concede late, that give away games, that don't know how to
But that's been Man United
react
for 3 or 4
during the
years,
game.
mate.
Oh,
It's been United. They did it under Solskjaer. They started.
have
well,
you
did
ever
poor.
seen
They did it under
anything
Ten
as
Hag.
bad as this?
Yeah, because they did Solskjaer. Well, before
don't
Solskjaer
know,
left, they
man.
were just as bad. They gave up. Same against now Ten Hag. Good first season, second season. Oh, I can't really be asked. Not bothered. It's the same theme. Jose, it's the same theme. They constantly throw their toys at the problem. Things not going that way. Sancho is what Ronaldo was a big one, but Sancho is the one that turned it. We've been not the same after Sancho.
I think he dropped the ball on Ronaldo as well.
I think it's easy to say that now, but I
In
think
hindsight, but at the time, I was gutted to see Ronaldo leave. And granted, he
I was,
probably
but we were
made
struggling.
he made his position in that squad untenable because of the things he was saying. But look at what Ronaldo's done this season: 32 goals, 10 assists, 28 games, 27 games.
You can't argue with the numbers, can you?
I don't care if you're talking about a Saudi league. I've watched that Saudi league, and I don't know. And I tell you now, right? Most people would not have watched a single game in that Saudi league. I've watched games. I've watched Ronaldo play, and I've watched some of the other teams around him. It's not like they're bad footballers. The quality is there. So to score those goals, it's not like, oh, he's in the Saudi league. It's a farmers league. It's better than the French league. Half the time.
I don't think what isn't better than that league.
But
then,
but
here's
we'll all
one.
applaud Mbappe for scoring 30 goals in that season in a season in the French league.
Well, we don't. It's FIFA, innit? It's always the French.
I'm telling you now.
Name one
Mbappe-
manager then. You get one choice of manager right now. Obviously, you can't have Pep. You're not having Klopp. Who are you having?
If I got to
Gotta
choose,
anywhere at the
and
moment.
it's someone who could be available,
Yeah.
I'd give McKenna a go.
Okay.
I'd give him a go.
Brave.
I would.
Have
But
you
I
watched
would
Ipswich still this season?
a few times. Yeah. How is he getting promoted with Wes Burns?
It's mental.
Like, and you
I'm
look
buzzing for him to come back to the league. as
look at
well,
that
Premier League.
team. There is no superstar in that side.
Play good football.
Amari Hutchison released by Arsenal, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's not a bad player though.
Yeah, but like he's built a squad. Like you look at that Leeds team,
Kiefer
that
Moore was a massive
Leicester
signing.
team, that Southampton team, the West Brom team. Look at all the money that's pumped into those sides, and he's come up promoted, kept pretty much the same group of players, added a few, and then taken them up automatic.
Because he's there.
I don't know. He's got about 90 points on his driving license. So.
Is he?
Yeah, he's just been banned for driving for like I don't even know how long. Yeah.
Oh, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
I'd take a go on Thiago Motta. I think he's doing phenomenal at Bologna. Obviously, I watch a lot of A-League. Serie A now, and I think the football they play and where they are in the league, some of them are in the league.
Yeah,
got above Roma now.
Fourth.
Yeah, going to get Champions League football next season.
Yeah,
that's mental.
Some good players. There's some good players.
Tiny budget. They lost their star player last season. Striker. He went to Inter. Arnautovic.
Oh yeah, of course.
They're on loan, isn't he?
Yeah.
For what he's done, I think he's been phenomenal. He's one to keep an eye on.
Josh Xerxes gone there and had an absolute belting time. What?
I thought it was belting time.
Yes, yeah. He's a top goal scorer. He's been flying. Lewis Ferguson plays for them as well.
Yeah. Centre attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
Scottish. Where did he come from?
I can't even think. I know, obviously
Scottish,
from Scotland.
I love that, and you play
to go from there to and not just that, to captain them as well.
Unbelievable.
Oh, it's class. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Right, let's do 2 lies and a truth answer. I gave you 3 stories earlier in the show. Those 3 stories are crazy. One of them is true. You had to guess which one was true. The first story was Real Madrid star Jude Bellingham has named his new puppy Carlo. That's after the Real Madrid boss Carlo Ancelotti. Story number 2 was Jose Mourinho turned down a job at Arsenal in 2016 because he pretty much thought that the Gunnosaurus was... What I want you to tell me where you're thinking. Like, think out loud as I'm saying this. But he thought the Gunnosaurus wasn't a serious thing for the club. He thought they're never going to win a big prize. Could it be true? Is that a Jose thing to say?
I love a dinosaur.
Okay.
I think that's a
and then story number 3 was the former Man City star man, Stephen Ireland, killed his grandmother.
I'm going to go with Stephen Ireland.
Okay.
Here's my thought process.
Cool.
He's bald.
True.
So you know when you've got hair and you go bald, you can be a bit...
Okay.
So that's the first one. And I think, if I remember rightly, Roy Keane did an interview and said he's lazy and he's a bit of an arsehole.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Nice.
He said like some people don't want to play, they're lazy. I think he was one of the players he was referring to. Okay. So that's why I'm going to go with Stephen Ireland.
So you're saying that Stephen Ireland once pretended his grandmother died to get out of international duty.
Yeah.
The story that is true, the true story this week is... Former Man City man Stephen Ireland once killed his grandmother to spend time with his girlfriend as well. What a melt.
I'm a genius.
I rate that though, actually, at the same time. It's like, he's got balls to do that. Ring up sick. And he apparently called up Sven Eriksson at City and said, I can't make it, and missed the game as well.
I think if you're bored, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
They tell you what you're doing.
Yeah. By the way, what a player
man.
Stephen Ireland was.
Scored some bangers,
that
didn't he?
one season.
Yeah.
This is before they brought
Ireland,
in...
Alano...
Robinho.
What's the other lad that was in midfield?
Giovanni.
Oh my God, what player he was.
Yeah. That was a horrible team as well, that Man City team.
Rats.
But they were class, yeah. And Stephen Ireland was magic.
He was a good player. And when he had like there was 1 or 2 good seasons. And where did he go after City?
Where did he go after City? Stoke?
Yeah.
He was at Stoke, wasn't he?
We didn't speak about Munich.
Munich. Oh, of course, yeah, Bayern Munich. Against Real Madrid. The more I look at it, I'd fancy Bayern, but I stuck my neck out at the start of the season saying Real Madrid are going to win the Champions League. I'm going to stick with it.
I called Bayern Munich at the start of the season, and I think they'll do it. I think they were decent without a banging striker. They've got Harry Kane now, who's just unbelievable. They've lost the league. They're winning the Champions League.
Are we agreeing that whoever wins that tie wins the Champions League?
For sure.
Yeah, PSG or Dortmund don't beat either of those.
Do you have no, I don't like PSG, never have. The club's just not great, is it? And every time an English team faces them, we get absolutely screwed over by them, especially the refs. But do you kind of want Mbappe to win the Champions League with PSG before he goes? Because Messi couldn't do it, Neymar couldn't do it. Mbappe does it. That's like, I know our era is like Messi, Neymar, Ronaldo. The new era is Mbappe. You've got Phil Foden probably coming through now.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I think it'd be cool to see Mbappe win it with his hometown club.
I'd rather see Jude lift it for Madrid before the Euros. Imagine double winning Jude.
Do we want Bayern Munich to win now? Yeah, because we've got Harry Kane.
Bayern or Madrid, I think I'd be happy with either of them winning.
All the fans that are laughing at, especially obviously the Arsenal fans, a lot of the Welsh are laughing at Kane not winning anything, going to Tottenham.
I'd love to see him win it.
Yeah,
I'd probably lean on Bayern in that case because of Kane. I love Harry Kane.
Yeah, I love it.
Fan captured goal of the week. I have always got a video every week of a goal captured from the fans rather than the TV cameras. This week's no different. I have got a Blackburn goal. This was Sammy Schmodik's goal to make sure that Blackburn cemented their place in the Championship. Have a look. Did you see that goal?
I didn't.
You haven't.
No.
So he's running through on goal, basically, and celebrating before he's even got there.
Because he knows.
He knows he's scoring.
He's a class player, him.
What I like about Sammy Schmodix the most is that his arrogance.
Yeah.
He's so arrogant, and I love that.
And he plays in a bad team, and he still gives everything. That's what I like players.
And
like
he's
that.
best mates with Still Ryan, and he's always on clubs with him, pro clubs.
Is he?
Yeah, he plays pro clubs with him and streams.
What a life.
Yeah, what a life.
So Rooney and Ginge, you see, Ginge made him get up at 7 a.m. to go training.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like, we've got training tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. He's like, oh yeah, no worries, I'll be there. It's pro clubs. He gets up at 7 a.m, rings all the lads because no one's there. So what are you doing? He's like, dude, we're messing this pro clubs. And they had to smash him in and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Rooney's class.
Yeah, they're good.
And do you know what really impressed me, actually? Rooney was on Super Sunday a couple of weeks ago. How good was he? Oh, it's brilliant.
And how...
not Super Sunday, it was the Liverpool-Everton game.
Liverpool-Everton game.
Yeah.
And how good was the female presenter as well, asking the questions?
What's her name?
I don't know what her name is, but it's the first time I've really listened to her.
Kelly Cates.
She was brilliant.
Kelly Cates is brilliant.
Really good. Like some of the stuff she's going at Klopp had stormed out for a lot less.
Do you know what? Oh, you mean the interviewer?
Yeah,
Sorry. Oh,
yeah,
I thought you meant the presenter.
No, the actual insights of presenter. No, the interview. Yeah, she was asking questions, and I was like, she was good. Yeah, but Rooney's insight was brilliant.
Yeah, I really liked it, and he wasn't afraid to put his opinion down and go back and forth with Cara as well, which
Nice.
I really liked.
Yeah, it was nice.
Right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We are back again next week, next Wednesday, and every Wednesday for the rest of the season. It's nearly the end of the season. We're nearly there.
Thank goodness for that.
And then it's the Euros. And then we're going to be doing, and my plan is to do a Euros special for a couple of weeks throughout the season. So we're not going to completely fall off the face of the earth. So you still hear from us. Vince, thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Speaking wisdom into my mind. Tell me stories of all that are great. Cherish these days before it's too late. If you could turn around yourself.
This week on football, Haaland goes in on...
Again?
No.
Haaland goes in on...
This week on football, Keane goes in Haaland. This is good. This is good. By the way, I put all the bloopers at the end.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode.